Shir sponsor Louis Nishmas, Aaron Biakov Shalom Lab Basitzchok. We're holding in Bobakamo, Daf Kuf Yud. We're going to be starting from the two dots of Kuf Tessimud base in the bottom. It says the Gemara, this is where everything starts from. This is coming from the where we mentioned in the previous daf, the end of the daf, the idea that a kohen can go be makriv his own karban. So Torah Rabbanon. Says the Gemara, "Minayin lekohen shabal makiv karbanosov b'chol leisu chol shalosh years." How do you know that a kohen can always be, even if he's off duty, he can go to the Beis Hamikdash and do karbanos? How do you know that? Says the Gemara, he comes with any time he has a will and does shiros. How does he know? How do you know that the meat, Rashi calls it schar avodah, and the skin goes to him? Everybody gets his own kosher that he works for. Now the Gemara continues to explain it, to detail it. If he's a ba'amum, that means he cannot do avodah. So then he makes a kohen to do the avodah. He can't do the avodah. So he gives someone in the kohen mishmar to go and do it. And then the avodah, the basar and the meat goes, and the skin goes to him, because the kohen who does the avodah is his shliach. So the one of kufyud, if he was sick or old, he can't eat. Not called kohen shirts. He gives to any kohen that he wants to. He gives them to work, because he can do an avodah, not mishmar. So he can appoint a shliach. And the avodah and the skin goes to that mishmar, because then he can't eat. So who's going to eat it? The people, the kohanim of that mishmar. That's our use. So the Rishonim have different uses over here. Someone to say that in the first case you don't give it. He can't. If he can't eat it, if he's a ba'amum, he can't do avodah. He can't appoint a kohen either. And someone to say that here he doesn't have. The avodah goes to the kohen who does the avodah, because whoever does the avodah gets it. Different uses. Says if he's sick or old, what does it mean? If you can do an avodah, so then if he's able to do avodah, why are you saying that he has to give the meat and skin to somebody else? He can do the avodah, like we saw before. If you can't do avodah, I can appoint the shliach to do for him the avodah, as we said that the old man appoints the shliach. We're talking about that he is able to work. As Toys points out over here, old people are allowed to work at Beis Hamikdash. So we talk about that he's starting to shake. When he starts to shake, opponent says don't work. Avoid that he can do all that chak instead of avoido, he can make a shliach. But to eat, he can't eat. Why can't he eat? Because he's old or sick. And if he's going to force himself to eat, it's called a chilagaso. It's not like nachil gas, not considered eating at all. That's why he can appoint anybody to eat on his behalf. He actually has to give it to Anshe Mishra. If he was Tomei and it's korban tzibur, we know korban's betumo. You could bring korban tzibur betumo. So if he's Tomei, he can do the avodah. So that's why he can give it to anybody he wants. He can't eat. A Tomei cannot eat the meat of the kachim. So that's why he can't eat it on his own. He can't appoint somebody else to give it to Hashish. Again, just the rule, just to understand the rule, is whatever he can do on his own, he can appoint someone specific on his shlichus to do it. Whatever he can do on his own, he has to give it to Anshe Mishmar. So if there is Tohim in that Mishmar, the Tmei do avodah. They can't do avodah. Rashi said, Tohim brings over here, it depends on the machlekes that we learned in Masechet Psachim. Do we say that Tumo Huchu B'tzibor or Tchuyu B'tzibor? Do we say Dumo? Do we say Tumo Huchu B'tzibor or Tchuyu B'tzibor? Question is, can the kohen go ahead and do the avodah if he's Tomei korban tzibor? Second one, if there's no Torim at all, Avidos of Oral Anshe Mishmar, give the skin and the meat to the people of the Mishmar. The Tomei you can't eat Basakotchim when you're Tomei. And just think about my Rava, gives it to Kohanim that have blemishes that are in their Mishmar. They're the ones that eat it. They can't do the avodah because they have a mum. but they can eat, right? Because that's the rule. A Baal Mum eats, a Baal Atomic cannot eat. Kohen Gadol Oinen. What's a Kohen Gadol Oinen? He has someone who died that day. He's allowed to do avodah. Nice to call Kohen Sheitz, he can appoint anybody he wants. He has to give the skin and the meat to the people of the Mishra. My gosh, what's a Chiddush Tadino? Kohen Gadol Makriv Oinen Ve'ino Oichel. Kohen Gadol is Makriv in the first day, and he's not allowed to what? Eat. He's not allowed to eat that day, but he could do a krava, so he could do a shlichus. What's a Chiddush? Ve'ino Chayik Lechover, he can't eat in the night either. You know when the Torah says that Torah was makel on Kohen Gadol to allow him to do avodah when he is the one who is doing that krava. I would think that Kohen Gadol really is not allowed to do avodah as an oinen, but the Torah was matir to him. Torah allowed him to do an avodah. So let's say, when the Torah allowed him to do an avodah when he's doing it himself, but to go and appoint the shliach, atkan. Chiddush is no. The Torah said that a Kohen Gadol oinen is completely allowed to do an avodah. Says the Mishnah, Hagoizel Sager Vinish Baloi V'mei. So as we learned in the previous daf, Goizel Sager, Ger has no yorshim. So that's where the case of the we started in the previous daf. The Gemara goes now. The Mishnah goes into it. If you have a ger if a person is stole from a ger and he lied to him, so he needs to bring he did a shvur. So he has to go to Beis Hamikdash and bring the what he stole plus 25% penalty plus the hasham. So the Mishnah says, Hagoiz Sager Vinish Baloi did a shvur v'meis and the ger died. Hagoiz Mishalem Karen, that has to be the principal. V'choimish, the fine of 25%. La Koyanim, he has to give to the Koyanim. V'hot Shalom Mizbech, brings the korban to Mizbech, obviously. Shemar, V'meilish Goy Lashiv Hasham Elov. The person doesn't have a relative to give the hasham. Hasham Mushav LaHashem LaKoyin. You have to give the hasham, which is the principal, to the Kohen. Except the El Kippurim, that you give to the. You have to bring to the Mizbech. Hayama ales hakesef v'sahasham v'meis. He goes and he's bringing the money to Yerushalayim to give to the Kohanim, and he's bringing the what? The one who stole from the ger, right? The one who stole from the ger. He's going now to Yerushalayim to bring the money to pay for the Kohanim. He's bringing the hasham v'meis, and now this person died. So what do you do with the money and the korban? Hakesef v'nosad levonim. The money goes to his children. Why? The money is a redemption, a kapara. Once he dies, the kapara doesn't work, so that's why his kids inherit it.
The niece is a kapara.
The niece is also kapara, but question for the kapara for this. The hasham yireh achi stayv. The hasham, you wait for it to get a mum. Yireh means you let it graze until it gets a mum. You sell it. People dumb on the dough. What do you do with the money? You bring it to the dough on the mizbeach. They take the money, use it to a korban oila for kai to mizbeach.
So the principal and the penalty goes to the kids.
Yes.
And what's the kapara for him? No.
That kapara you won't have.
It's nothing then, because he said the Hashemi doesn't need to get it.
Yeah, the Hashemi, he doesn't have kapara on this one. Yeah, you gotta be korban for someone who died. Not so that Kesef L'Anshei Mishra. He gave the money to the people in Beis Hamikdash, the mace, and then he died. And the Yeshiva cannot come and take out from what? From the Ranshei. In other words, he gave it to the Kohanim, and as the unfortunate point out here, before they did the korban, he died. So the Yeshiva say, whoa, you didn't finish the process. The korban you're not doing, give me back the money. Can't take the money back.
It's only for ger already?
No, that's the only case that a person pays to the Kohanim. When a person steals from a regular guy, he pays to the guy. Here's the only time he goes to the Kohanim. Once you get to the Kohen, belongs to the Kohen. Not so that Kesef leYohariv. Yohariv, there is 24 mishmaros kohen, 24 families that do each one does it for 1 week. Yohariv is the first one. Yohadaya is the second one. So if he gave the money to Yohariv, and then next week he gave the Hasham leYohadaya, Yotzo, that's okay, because money before the Hasham works. But if he did the opposite, Hasham leYohariv, for the first week he gave to Hasham. The Kesef leyadyo im kayo ma Hasham. If the korban hasham is still existing, they didn't shecht it, yakriveo b'nei yadayo. So then the second week, he's going to do both the money and the korban. V'im loy Yach, so he has to give it back. He has to go back. He has to bring the Asham again. If you bring the money before you brought the carbon yotza, that's good. But if you have Shomach Shloiv Gzeil, if you brought the Asham before you brought the Gzeilo, lo yotza. Not yotza. There's a mission, if you gave the principal, we didn't give the fine, it's not me'akev to bring the carbon, it can still bring the carbon. So the Gemara is dashly everything we learned in the Mishnah of Pesukim. Asham, it says he has to bring the Asham. What's Asham? Zakir, and that's the principal. Hamushov is the return. What is that? Zechaymish, that's the 25% fine. Maybe Asham means the carbon. Like many times we call a carbon Asham. Well, the mind of Kavin La Fukim the Rav is going to exclude Rav and Amarava Gazla Ger Shechzir Balaylo Lo Yotzo Yechzir Chatzoyim Lo Yotzo. Rav says that when you give the carbon, you pay back the ger. If you pay it in the night, he's not Yotze. And if you pay it half, it's my time. It's called a carbon. A carbon you have to give in the day, and a carbon you can't give half. So why are we assuming that the money is called Asham? Maybe the animal is called Asham. It says it says later, except for the carbon. It tells you Asham is Karen. It says we have another brayso. Asham is a Karen. Asham is a Karen. Amushav is a Chaymish. It says Asham Amushav. The Asham was returned. Maybe Asham is Chaymish. The mind of Kavin La Fukim, you must come to the Mishnah that says not necessarily the Karen. For the Nosal was a Chaymish and a Chosh Ma'akev, he paid the principal and he did not pay the fine. So the fine is not Me'akev. Other Rabbi Choymish Me'akev, the Choymish is Me'akev because it's called Asham, that means not the carbon. So clearly the Pasuk says, Asham is a Karen, it gives you a few indications that the word Asham means Karen, means the principal. Tani, the Asham is a Karen, Amush is a Choymish. Ubigez la gera kosmedaber. Or elo amushov ze kefer, kefil. Maybe it's kefil. Maybe it's double. Ubigneva ze gera kosmedaber. Not talking about gezel gera where you don't pay double. Maybe talking about gneva ze gera where you do pay double. Kashoim ve yeshiva sashon beroshoy vechamishisoi. So you pay the money plus a fifth, which means 25%. Which actually a quarter. Harei b'mon mishtam beroisha kosmedaber because it says the shon beroshoy. Beroshoy means Loshen Rosh. It says Rashi, Rosh means alone, without anything else. You don't add to the double. Double is a double. Rosh means principal only. So he's talking about regular, not about Gzelo, not about Gneva, but about Gzelo. It says go Gufa. Omar Rabbi gets like Shechzir Balay Lo Yotze, Chzir Chatzoyim Lo Yotze. You turn in the night or you turn in half. It's not Yotze. My time Ashar Karech. What do I call the Rosh? Omar Rabbi gets like Shein Bo Shvei Pruto. The Kol Kohen V'Kohen. The person brings Gezlager back to Beis Hamikdash. And in Beis Hamikdash you have a family of Koyanim, the Mishmar. And you don't have enough to give each Kohen a pruto. Lo yotze dechavos ina yoytze. My time is tiva oshav amushav and she has shava the kol Kohen Kohen. It has to be a shava, a return for each Kohen. Each Kohen has to get at least a pruto.
What do you mean? He's returning?
He's returning what he stole. But if let's say he stole only $10 and you have the Kohen, and let's say $10 not good, 10 prutos, and you have 50 koyanim, he's not yoytze. Because you have to make sure that every koyan gets a put this. You have to add more money to it to be yoytze. To do the kapar. Yeah. Says the Gemara, boy, here's a question. Ain't bol mishmeres yoriv, v'yesh bol mishmeres, when daf confused the base, mishmeres yedayu. Mishmeres yoriv, mishmeres yoriv has 50 koyanim. Mishmeres yedayu, the next week, has only 10 koyanim. He's bringing 10 prutas. Ma, what do we say? Echidan, what's the case to go on? If you gave to Yadayo in that week, what's the question? You have enough. You have 10 prutos for 10 koyanim. Says more, he gave it to Yadayo in the Mishpat of Yoriv. He went in the first week, which is the week of Yoriv, and he gave the money to the next family. It's not the Mishperes. He has to give it to that Mishperes. It's not considered to be paid. Because what he owes is only $10. 10 prutas. 10 prutas doesn't work by the first Mishperes. Elma has to pay more money. So he says, I'll give it the second one. So maybe that's what he means. Liadaka, he means to be going to the second Mishperes. It's more take, we're not so sure. Boy, Rava, he says over here, even though maybe he can even bring the korban right away. Says the Gemara, couldn't they divide the Gezlager and say Gizla Ger is coming today. This guy is bringing $20, and somebody else is bringing $20. Let's go and divide it. Meaning
it started?
Meaning, can we come and say, you take from that guy, I'll take from this guy? Instead of going divide equally between each one, we'll say, you know what? I'm going to take this guy's lager. I'm running. I have to go to do shopping. So I know there's a few people coming today with gez lager. So I'll take the first one. You take the second one. Instead of us dividing each one equally.
You mean if they divided each one, they wouldn't have the fruit together?
I'm not necessarily. You have to have a fruit of each one. In any case. We're talking about, let's say, I'll give you an easier scenario. One guy says, I know there's 3 people coming today. One is coming 9 o'clock in the morning, one is coming 12, one is coming 3. I don't have time now, right, to wait. I have an appointment with the doctor. I'm going to take the 9 o'clock one, and the 12 o'clock one you take.
There's nothing to do with valuation.
The chur not, because it's all talking about money. Says the Gemara, no, but the Torah calls it Asho. We have a rule by Karbonis. Karbonis, I can't divide it. You can't come and say, I'll take that oil, or you'll take the second oil. But all the Karbonis divide equally. We don't divide it. At the end of the day, it's money. Money you can divide. Then he answered, Osho Kairech. When a Torah called it Osham, has the din of a carbon you don't divide. Osho Kairech. He brought now it was a question answer. They don't take, you take one because I take the other one. My time, Osho Kairech. When a Torah called it Osham. So Rava stated that clearly. Boy Rava. Kriyanim begez lagir. Yorshimavu umekabe matonos havu. Right, Kriyanim, do you have the din of inheritance? I mean, they inherit it? Or they consider to be getting a present? The mind of Kivino, what's the difference? Says the Mokigon, Shegozal, Chometz, Shovala Pesach. He stole Chometz. Yomad Yorshimavu, I know IDR Simaris. So the pshat is, that's what they inherited. He gives them the Chometz Shovala Pesach, that's what it is. Down for Baalmu. Can he give them? He stole the chametz. The chametz is still in his hand. So guys, take the chametz. So if you say they inherited whatever the ger left them, so to speak. But if you tell me it's a gift has to be worth something. They asked the question differently. I feel even if they consider to be receiving a gift, it's clear that he could give him the chametz, because that's what the Torah said to give. Torah said whatever you steal, you give to the kohanim. It's not worth anything. That's fine. What we're asking, the kohen got 10 animals against lagir. Do they have to do a meiser or not? Or the Yorshim Avu Domamar Kodem Tvis Sabai is Chayovim? We have a din that Yorshim do have to give the meiser behemo, every 10th animal. Or do the Matoros Avu, they're getting a gift. Someone who buys, if who gets a gift, so they have to do meiser behemo the Koyanim or not. Here L'chor is a clear in the Gemara. The meiser behemo is by a Yorush is done. It's done by a Yorush, by someone who inherits. Only by a buyer or giver, not that's not Kamino. He's mechuyev. He's obligated to do it, and that's the question of the Rambam. The Rambam holds. Rambam said that you don't have ma'aseh be'ema by a yorush. How does that work with a fair Gemara? The Chachamim are very busy with it to explain it.
Double tax.
Link to double tax. No, the father didn't do it.
Oh, the father didn't.
Yeah, they didn't do it. Yeah. Says more Toshma. There's 24 mataras that were given to Aaron and his kids. They're all given to him with Kol Particular is that it says, the Rashi says, the Chol Kochim Bnei Yisrael, Chol Nesunim, Lemoshcho, that's a Kalal, you get the Kochim. When he goes to say all the Matana, and then it says, the Chol was a Kadosh, so there's Kol Particular, Ubris Melech. And there is a special covenant called the Salt Covenant. Melech stays forever, and that gives you the nitzchius to Aaron HaKohen. Kol HaMekayimon, anybody who gives the Kohen his matanas, Kil Mekayim Kal Partiklal Ubris Melech, is Mekayim the whole thing. He's Mekayim the tzivur of the Torah, he's Mekayim all these dinim. Kol oiver aleim ki lo oiver al klal batu klal bris melech is oiver and klal batu klal bris melech. Ve'elu, what are the 24? Eser b'migdosh, there's 10 in Beis Hamikdash. Ve'arba b'Yushalayim and 4 in Yerushalayim. Ve'eser b'gvulim and 10 out of Yerushalayim. Eser b'migdosh, what's the 10 in B'migdosh? Chatas be'emo ve'chatas hoif. Chatas of an animal, chatas of a bird. Ve'osham vadai ve'osham tali. There's the osham that you bring for some averis. And osham tali that you bring when you're in doubt if you have to bring a chatas. Ve'zivchi shal mitzibur. The kohen gets the meat of the shlami of the tzibur that come on Shavuos. Like shemen shel mitzayro, that the kohen can take that oil. Umoisar oimer, where it's left from the oimer that you put in the mizbeach in the korban oimer that you do in Tidzayin Nisan. V'shtei alechem that you do in Shavuos. V'lechem aponim that you have every Shabbos. V'shiyar menachas that overs of the mincha. That's the 10 of the mikdash. Okay. The Arba of Yerushalayim, the 4 Yerushalayim, the key in the whole Yerushalayim, Habichoyra, the Bchor, Habikurim, getting the first fruit. V'amiru min ha'toida ve'el nazir, whatever's coming out for the toida and the nazir, which is a different part of the carbon, plus the breads. V'oiris kachim, and also the skin of kachim that is given to him in Yerushalayim. Even though he can take it out whatever he wants, the skin is given to him in Yerushalayim. V'asar b'gvulim is 10 that he eats outside Yerushalayim. What are these 10? Truma, the Trumas Meiser. That, right, Truma and Trumas Meiser. Truma that you get from the grain. Trumas Meiser, the Levi gives it. The Chalo from every dog. The Rashis Agaz that you give from the wool that comes out. The Amatonois, right, and then you have the Amatonos that you get from the animals. Upidun Aben that you get from redeeming a Bchor. Upidun Prat Chamor, when you redeem a Chamor. There's there chuzah, the person who's magdish that goes to koyanim. There's there charom, someone who did cherem and his sadeh goes to the kohen. The gezlager, right? So that's one of the list of the 24 matonos that kohen gets. Kakori miad matono, you see it's called a matono. Shmami nemikal matono zavu shmami no. The fact that Torah gives it the name of matono, that means it is a matono. Okay, says the Gemara. A few more lines. No, so the fact he gave the money to one mishra, then he gave to the other mishra the carbon who works. You see, he gave the money to the mishra, then he died, so then the money stays with the kohen. So you see the money does kapar. You go back to the Yorsha. What's the reason? I didn't give it to you just to hold on to the money. I want to do something with the money. I want to do kapar. If I have no kapar, what's the point? You see the money does kapar. So according to you, we have korban chatos that the owner died. Typically, you should go out to chuli and that you would never make a korban chatos if you would know that he's going to die. The special loch of Moshe Sinai that it goes lemiso. That the owner died, not the korban osham. That goes out that the owner died. She go to chulin. That died he didn't make a korban in order for him to die. There was also local Moshe Sinai regarding osham. The rule is whatever chatas you kill, which is 5 different korbanos chatas. Be'osham roin osham you grace. Says the Gemara, one more case. Yavama, who falls in front of a brother who's a mukashrin, that's considered to be a very terrible machla. Doesn't want to live with him. She'll never get married if she knows she's going to fall in front of mukashrin. Says well, also on inside we have a edus. Why we have kuvidav dalif. The meinach nichla b'choldu. She's very happy to get married. A woman is better to live with somebody than living alone. Yeah. So here we have a machlokes that we're sharing. Rashi takes how to understand this, because what does it mean that she says she's willing to get married? Rashi says she was willing to get married to the brother, the one who was healthy. Then the brother died. She falls in front of the yavam. The yavam is full of blisters. The mukashrin says she was willing to marry the first brother, even though she knew there's a risk she's going to fall in front of the brother. Hi, it's such a terrible thing to marry mukashrin. At least right now she's getting married. She's getting married to a normal marriage. It's fine. Other Rishonim, the Chaim point out, argue, and they say no. Even if the brother was a mukashrin, even if She's willing to get married to anybody. So it seems over here as a machlokes rishonim to what extent the woman is willing to get married. According to Rashi, she's not willing to get married to everybody, but she's willing to get married to a normal person with the risk that she may have to marry somebody who's sick. According to the other rishonim, she's willing to marry even a sick person because of the svara. She doesn't want to be alone. With this we're at least 2 times. Yes, very good. Tomorrow we'll continue in the regular time.